Hey, you don't look confident, Bo. You don't look confident when you're doing that. You don't look confident.
Are you ready for the best Kansas City Chiefs insight? Welcome to the Four Guys in a Bar, sponsored by ChiefsBlitz.com, presented by UnderdogFantasy.com. Here's your Chiefs Blitz host, Nick Athen, with Lou Montagna, Andre Tillman, and hence
He got the winning Super Bowl touchdown.
Okay, got a catch. Anybody could have made that catch.
The Kansas City Chiefs select Josh Simmons, offensive tackle, Ohio State.
You did it, man. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Guys, y'all got it. Comic. Guys, y'all.
I don't know what the trade details are. Hold on.
Boom!
They got Worthy.
Xavier Worthy.
Isn't that crazy? It's been 11 months since the Chiefs won the Super Bowl, and it's gone by so fast.
Oh, it's time to piss straight off. Pull up a picture of 81. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Rashad
Smith. Let's go.
There it is. The Chiefs have done their perfect draft.
Dre's gone. I don't know where he's gone.
Yo, welcome to the show. It's a Chiefs Blitz night. Breaking down the plays, keeping everything tight. From my homes to the defense, we give you the scoop. Real talk, real stats, we the ultimate truth.
All righty, welcome to the next edition of Four Guys in a Bar, presented by ChiefsBlitz.com. I'm your host, Nick Athen, along with the Juice Kid, the Anonymous Mango, Lou Montagna, and Coach Andre Tillman.
What up? What up?
We are here on Monday, August 18th. Kansas City Chiefs are back to practice today in preparation for their final preseason game against the Bears on Friday night at Arrowhead, the only preseason game. And the good news is, if you have a ticket for that game, if you're a season ticket holder, you must pay full price for it. The starters will probably play a series or two on offense and defense to get a little work in before 2 weeks after that, they will play the Los Angeles Football Chargers in Sao Paulo, Brazil. I don't know how to pronounce it. So, dictation was that's just not my.
That wasn't bad.
Was it close?
No, it wasn't bad.
Rolls easy for you to say.
Paulo.
Easy rolls right off the tongue. Sao Paulo. Yes.
Paulo.
In Brazil.
Brazil. I don't know any Brazilians, so
They speak Portuguese, but that's
they do. Well, I don't know any Portuguese people.
There you go.
What do you mean? What do they speak Portuguese in Brazil? Shouldn't they be speaking Brazilian?
Yeah, Nick. That's okay. I think that's more closely associated with a type of waxing.
No, I wasn't. See, look at you, man. Gutter mine. I swear. My goodness. No.
What?
No.
Oh my gosh, y'all funny.
I didn't. Hey, okay. We started the show off.
Jason Kelsey had one not too long ago. They were talking about it on with Taylor Swift when she was on.
I'm not Jason Kelsey.
How that was going? He was doing something where he had to wear a Speedo, so he went for the Brazilian.
Yeah. Can't imagine.
Ain't nobody gonna get no Brazilian racks. I mean, that's
aggressive.
Let it all show. Let it all show. You're a
aggressive.
man. Let it all show. You're a man.
Well,
you got that natural going on, Coach?
Got that natural going on.
Got that natural going on.
Hey, natural
Beautiful.
remedy down there.
Well, we got off the rails to start our Monday
Sweet.
show. With that said, let's bring in our sponsor, Underdog Fantasy.
Play now in Missouri. If you're looking for a great fantasy game, we've teamed up with UnderdogFantasy.com. You can play $5 and get $50. You can use the special promo code Chiefs Blitz. The game is available in 33 states. Check out the availability map. You must be 18, 19, or 21 years older to play, but it's an outstanding game. The app is very simple. You can deposit and get up to $1,000 in bonus cash for new customers, and make sure you use the Chiefs Blitz code, and so you can register to start playing this amazing game. Play Pick'em on Underdog. You can, with all your favorite NBA players, James, Curry, Ball, anybody and everybody who's in the NBA, you can play higher or lower. It is an amazing product. It's very simple to use. If I can do it, anybody can. And just make sure when you log on to UnderdogFantasy.com, make sure you use the code Chiefs Blitz.
That's right, Chiefs Blitz. Underdog has given away $1 billion so far. That is the prize money that you have earned by playing their great game. All you got to do is hit the QR code. It'll be up on our screen as we get the show. And put in Chiefs Blitz. You get $50 bonus money. There's going to have another $1,000 bonus opportunity as well. They're going to outlay their new season of football stuff coming up end of this week. So we're excited for them to be our partner at Underdog. And if you want to win the ultimate ride, Derek Thomas's legendary Mercedes-Benz raffle. It's really easy. Just hit the scan code. Tickets start at $100 per entry. 100% of the proceeds will go to the Derek Thomas Neil Smith Third and Long Foundation, along with Duron Cherry's foundation. The winner will be chosen October 16th, 2025. So you got 2 months here. And if you're looking for a little Chiefs memorabilia, I am selling the mass majority of my 1,000-piece collectibles. First up is a signed football by Super Bowl IV heroes Johnny Robinson, Bobby Bell, Willie Lanier, Lenny Dawson, Emmitt Thomas, all with the Hall of Fame moniker. Got those in 2 different signings. So pretty excited about that opportunity. $1,450 includes free shipping and a case. Plus, in about 2 weeks, we will unveil a new section on ChiefsBlitz.com where all the merchandise that I'm selling will be up there over time. It's going to take me a while. I got 1,000 pieces. So
the eBay of Chiefs.
Yeah, I've been doing eBay a really long time, but their fees are getting so expensive, and it's just not worth it. So my programmer and I are going to build a little storefront, and it'll be a little easier to do this kind of stuff. And I'm in no hurry. I'm going to take my time and make sure we get good goodies out.
One-stop shop, gang.
One stop. I got almost every generation covered.
You don't have to go anywhere else.
This is it.
Get your news, rumors. You can buy stuff. You can sell stuff.
This is it. Play fantasy. It's all good.
You can make some fantasy selections. You can make some regular selections. I noticed I had to go back on the app because unfortunately we are not licensed here, not where I live, for Underdog. But I just went to kind of acquaint myself. Cricket is available, Mango. So if you have any selections for our crew and that you want to include cricket in your parlays,
beautiful. I like it.
Go for it.
All right. Yeah. It's all good, man. Love it.
Right.
All right, Juice Kid, what do we got rolling here today?
Right, let's get into thanks. Let's get into just some of the stuff that Coach Reed up the players was saying in the press conference. Really, Lou, did you catch it today?
I did.
Brilliant. Then we'll let you handle this section, but we'll start off with what Coach had to say.
Okay, so Matt Foster TV right here contributing. Andy Reid says the starters are going to begin Friday night's game versus Chicago. They kind of flip-flopped game 2 and game 3 in terms of how they were going to view it, using more of the younger players and backups in terms of length of playing time in game 2, which normally that's kind of like the dress rehearsal. Right. But because of scheduling and everything else and the field and the pitch and whatever you want to call it in Seattle, on top of that, Nick predicted rain. And, of course, they got it. Thank you, Mr. Thunder. So game 3, you'll see Patrick out there slinging it in Arrowhead.
Right.
Matt Foster once again.
Anyway, are you going to chime in with that, False Nick?
Well, yeah, no, listen, I think it's great. I think, again, this is, we kind of all, I thought personally, I mean, Josh Allen hasn't played the first 2 games of Buffalo, so I think, maybe Andy's just not going to play Patrick Mahomes other than the for one series in Arizona. Just, work on
one touchdown.
Yeah, 1-for-1 touchdown.
He's ready.
Big fantasy weekend for me at Underdog. Paid out pretty good. But, I think it's good to get some reps. The season opener is still going to be 2 weeks from that day, from 2 weeks from Friday. So get them some work. Get the one defense, the one offense. Get Kingsley Suamatea as much work as humanly possible. But I think it's good that he decided probably the comfortability of Arrowhead, knowing the turf, is probably a good idea to get some of the starters out there.
Man, I would have loved for them to do that against Seattle, and then the last game let the backups or rookies really go out there and play, man. But it's kind of weird, if you wait, like you start Mahomes for 2 series and then you don't play no starters on against Seattle. Now you're gonna let these guys play a series in Chicago. To me, I don't know. It's weird to me. It's weird, but hey, you got to get those reps in.
If they were playing somewhere else, I think they would have played. They just weren't going to take this. They had 5 injuries already in the game.
And I think I think coaches are still playing with this whole idea how to treat the preseason because back in the day it was always okay. You played 4 preseason games. Game 3 was kind of like the dress rehearsal. Game 4 was kind of like okay, backups and everybody else fighting to get on the team. But now they cut it back to 3. You've got so much more that goes into the off-season program through training camp, and then situation with again that second game being in Seattle. So, yeah, a lot of factors there. But I trust Coach Reed implicitly with all this stuff. I mean, everything to do with Super Bowl weeks, coming off of buys, everything else. He's kind of got it down. So I think this, if he feels this is the best way to go about it. Who's to say no? Because no one else is kind of going with conventional wisdom either. If you watch these teams, I mean, Nick just mentioned it. Josh Allen hasn't been out there for a single snap.
Yeah, so it's kind of unpredictable. But like you said, hey, Coach Reed knows
every team is different.
Knows what he's doing. So
Lou, what did you make of the news on FAU? Given that this
was
really his chance
you talk about kind of like under the radar, just kind of like by the way, it's like sweeping something under the rug. Pete Sweeney, congratulations, Pete, getting the nod from KC Star. Let's go, Pete. He was what was he, the editor at Arrowhead Pride or one of those sites? But Chiefs say that FAU strained his hamstring. Okay, a strained hamstring, and you're going on IR. This isn't IR to return. You go on IR now, you're done for the season. And here's a guy that's his 3rd year.
Oh my gosh!
Every year has kind of been like
he's done
developing. This is, I mean, to me, a major setback. Not so much for the team, but for him. That's a tough one if that's the way they're going to go.
Yeah, but it's crazy because he haven't showed nothing. All of a sudden now you get a damaged little hamstring, right? Now
we don't know the extent of it.
We don't know the extent.
It's probably
extent, but injury reserve.
When you hear that, you hear a strained hamstring. Typically, it's not a season ender.
Right, it's not. But now you're on injury reserve. It's like I think to me, I really do believe that the Chiefs are really done with him.
Was this kind of like a political thing to just open up a spot to not completely give up on a first-round pick from a couple of years ago?
Yep.
And hopeful, again, go into next season with the same thing, trying to figure out what do you have in this kid.
Yeah. Well, okay, Mr. Captain America there. I mean, I think the thing with him is, they've given him every opportunity. He spent a lot of time working with Tom Bahali, and it didn't seem like it was working.
It didn't pay off.
And, I think this is a way for the Chiefs. They're kind of thin right now at defensive end. We're going to go through our 53-man roster and kind of break it apart. But he was going to be tough for him to make the team. I think this means Ashton Gelati has got to play significant reps this year because they need another pass rusher. Of course, we got a rumor that the Chiefs may be looking at a very high priced veteran pass rusher, and we'll talk about that here in a second. But for FAU, it's too bad the Chiefs draft was in Kansas City that year because I think the leagues wanted them not to trade the pick but to take a player. And I think they just decided, hey, we think he's got some talent. He's injured. We'll give him a year to season. We think he's a steal. It just never worked out. And those things happen. And for Brett Veach, I mean, I can think of 2 draft picks. This one, and I think his first draft pick when he got that linebacker, I can't remember his name. I want to say Brandon something or
Brandon George.
No. From
Breland Speaks.
Breland Speaks. That's it. Yeah, Breland Speaks was a bust.
He was a 2nd-round pick.
Yeah, they didn't have a 1st-round pick that year. I don't think they traded that for Frank Clark.
He lit up the UFL last year.
He did, but that's 6 years in. So other than that, I think Brett Veach has done a terrific job in the 1st round.
Yeah. I wouldn't be throwing dirt on FAU's grave at this point, or this didn't work.
No.
It didn't work. I think it's still he's still a work in progress. It's just really, it's just hard to take. And even if the injury was bad, PUP maybe but if they feel like it's like, okay, we just need that roster spot for somebody that's going to be healthy. I think the plan was for whatever edge rusher they picked up in the draft was going to play a lot this year. So Gelati, I don't think anything has changed.
And
for
if
him.
It's torn, he's going to have surgery, and that's the end of it.
But that's
It's still not a good. It's still not a good look for him in general.
Yeah,
even before the injury, it didn't look good for him because he's not productive.
Dak had one like during the course of the season, and he missed a lot of time with that. So you never want to say it, but it just from the outside looking in, this kid needs the work, and this is just a huge setback and just horrible luck
at a bad time too. At a bad time.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. But it was just kind of oh, by the way. I'm like,
by the way.
By the way, he's
just snuck it in.
Yeah.
Matt Araiza was on the podium today. What did he have to say?
Another Matt Foster. So Matt Araiza says he's happy with where he's at. He's already better than he was last year. Adds that even his bad punts are better than preseason 2. I think he said miss hits, but okay, Matt, you can say bad punts.
Instead of 65 yards, they only go 50.
But I think, he made some good points, in terms of, his work, a couple things that, he left last season with, which is basically what Toad's been saying all along, is hang time and then getting the ball down inside the 10-yard line on his punts.
Right.
They talked about holding a little bit, how he being a former kicker kind of understands that piece of it, and then they kind of made a joke of like, is he the emergency kicker, sort of like Justin Reed last year? And I thought it was pretty cool when he said, "Well, yeah, I should have been last year too." Everybody got a chuckle out of it, but I think Matt was dead serious.
Yeah,
he just said that
he's a left-footed kicker.
So right. So sometimes it's hard for the holder to be, holding for a left foot again. But then, what the heck? Come on. These guys are professional athletes. Somebody could figure it out and get it done if in a pinch. So, but no, that's cool that he's able to do both. And even if he's not needed to be a place kicker, just his knowledge of it can help Harrison, in any different situation, as far as just the angle of the ball, maybe how Harrison happens to be kicking it. I mean, it's like having a caddy in golf, right? I mean, somebody there to just, hey, you're coming through a little too quick, or you're not going back far, whatever it happens to be. So, it was good to see him at the podium too. You typically don't see the punter.
No, it was nice. He's funny too.
Very baby face.
Yeah, he wants to play more special teams and be a gunner, and I think my guess is I say this every year. He's going to throw a pass this year. You watch.
He's going to just call his own number.
He's just going to call. He's going to go to Andy and say, "Okay."
Well, typically a lot of those they have, they're built in. So if they get a certain look, everybody's supposed. I mean, there might be like a code word or something that they use that week, and
do it in the opener. I want to see it.
Ball's in his hands. McAfee always had kind of that leeway with the Colts that he could kind of take off. So. Let's go, Matt.
Do you remember the Tommy Townsend against the Raiders on Christmas Day?
What was that? To Robinson, I think.
D-Rob, I believe.
D-Rob, yes. D-Rob. Yeah, that was great. I loved it.
All right, so Harold Kuntz chimes in. Josh Simmons says the preseason games have been great to take back to practice and build off. Adds, you don't know what the speed of the preseason is compared to week 1. So if I can just take the baby nuggets, I'm getting in preseason and work on it for week 1, I'll be good. So yeah, there you have it.
Just take what the preseason, take what the preseason has to offer. He's taking the bull by the horns and getting those good reps in. And guys, let's face it, he's been solid. Simmons has been solid. He's been solid. He looked great out there too. So. Take it day by day. He's still learning, but he looked good.
He's really poised at the podium too. I mean, a lot of rookies are like, they kind of fumble around and they don't really have a lot of personality sometimes, but he does. He seems comfortable. He got some of he made a couple of jokes or offhanded comments that were pretty humorous. He smiled. He was engaged. But I thought some of the things he was saying, you don't necessarily hear from a rookie. just like I said, the baby nuggets, how that you don't know what the speed of week 1 is. I mean, these are all things that you think about when you have a lot of confidence in yourself and in your belief. And he does have things to work on. I mean, he's got a tendency to hold, and so far he hasn't been called for it. Maybe that's because Kingsley Suamatayo has kind of struggled in passing situations. So we'll see how that all.
Yeah, let's blame it on somebody else, Nick.
I'm just saying.
I think Matt Derrick did pose a question to him about the stance and his set in terms of tipping plays, and they did talk about that a little bit and how he's working on it, and he's kind of seeing it because, again, you don't want to be giving pass rushers any edge whatsoever. I mean, they're fast enough as it is. But he seemed to. I mean, he's aware of it, working on it. So that was cool to hear that.
Our Cameron Lampe, FAU's Goose, first round pick. He played a lot of minutes in 3 years. Well, I mean, a bust. I mean, listen, he was injured his rookie year. Had some injuries last year. Was down in the depth chart, and this year, just had a massive injury at the wrong time. And it is what it is.
But you a first round guy though, man.
Come on.
Nearly go out there. And you got
more first round busts in the NFL.
Give me something. Let us know you the dog.
No, stop. There are more first round busts in the NFL.
Well, we know FAU is definitely one of those.
2nd through 7. Trust me. Bust.
See, Simmons is a first round guy. He's a stud. And we know who he is. Sheep Mango, I got your back. You know what I'm saying? He's a stud. Now, FAU on the other team, rotation rosters, like he's in a rotation, they working with him. He's been worked on. Now his legs is tender. Well, we know the outcome is that going to be. We already know. What it's going to be. That's not sugar-coated, gentlemen. All right, he's out. He's done. Now time for Goliath to get his due.
Man, I think there's 3 things guaranteed. I think you'll never meet Sky Moore because I think he won't like you. I don't think you're going to ever meet FAU, and I certainly don't think you're gonna meet Mr. Williams either.
No, not to hell with him. Okay. Hey, speaking of Williams though, he did get beat 4 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Hey, we know what Nazeeh Johnson had a nice little deflection of PD though in the end zone. I said okay. I like that Johnson.
He's gonna have to be the man this year. He's gonna have
It was a pretty similar play.
It was definitely
right, kind of like a back shoulder throw to the pylon.
Crystal.
So,
she got jokes. But he lived the expectation though.
Yeah, he hasn't lived any expectations yet.
All right. Just the height.
Big year for Kyler.
Big year for Kyler. Big year.
With FAU likely heading to IR, is there someone that could come in, Nick, possibly?
Look at that man, Zadarius Smith, the free agent, did not re-sign with the Detroit Lions after being traded there last year, if I'm not mistaken. Former Green Bay Packer, correct?
And Cleveland Brown.
He's looking for a 1-year deal, probably in that $7-8 million range. Very similar to Justin Simmons. He's wanting a $9 million deal to play for the Chiefs. So the Chiefs are going to have to spend some money, or they're going to have to maybe make some room on their cap. But Zadarius Smith would be an upgrade over FAU. He'd be a good rotation guy. They need another, in my opinion, unless Ashton Galati just comes out of the gate and it just spitballs of fire. They need another pass rusher. Mike Dana is a really good player. He's a little undersized. That means Chris Jones is going to have to play more outside. We already know about George Karlaftis. Beyond that, we really don't know what they have or what they don't have. And again, with Spags, corner safeties, linebackers like to blitz, so they like to do different things. But Smith would be a good addition. Jadeveon Clowney would also be, I think, a good addition as well, though I wouldn't want him as much as I would want Smith.
Yeah, Clowney never really lived up to, getting the sack numbers, but he's still a, dominant, edge setting. That's typically the guy that the Chiefs look for, is really big defensive ends. Now there's a couple other names out there that what would you be willing to give up for a guy that potentially has a $30 million a year number? Mm-hmm. So like Trey Hendrickson, I'll put this out to the guys in the chat. What would you be willing to give up if you're sitting in Beach's seat to get Hendrickson. He wants guaranteed money for probably 3 years, right? And you're going to have to give some compensation to the Bengals, who it's kind of weird because if they trade him, they value him at some, huge amount of money, but they're not willing to pay him the huge amount of guaranteed money. So they're trying to kind of have their cake and eat it too. But if he was available in trade, is it worth, say, a second round pick in 26 and pay him 3 years,
$90 million,
$100 million?
Yeah, you'd have to
all guaranteed.
Yeah, you'd have to guarantee,
or a good portion of it guaranteed.
Yeah, you'd be looking at probably 85 out of 95 million guaranteed, 3-year deal. I think the compensation would probably be a 3 that can be conditional to a 2. If he hits double-digit sacks or he helps the Chiefs get to the postseason, something easy for the Bengals to come. But getting the Bengals to trade him to the Chiefs, it's too bad they don't do three-team trades anymore. That would be fabulous. Wouldn't it be great if the Chiefs just got another team and said, okay, here's what we're going to do. You go get Hendrickson, and this is what we'll give you to make that trade. I wish the NFL did that kind of stuff.
Right. There's 32, there's 32 GMs. You start doing that, you are not going to be in business very long.
You will be done as any kind of trade platform goes.
Yeah, I mean, your team might keep you, but the other guys aren't going to willing to make any
I don't see the Bengals helping the Chiefs.
Hell no.
It would be helping them though.
Well,
because they could get rid of this, $90 million problem they have.
Yeah, they're not paying anybody else over there. They're done paying salaries. They're not going to give any.
Well, they are. I think they are willing to give him the number. They just won't guarantee beyond 1 year.
Yeah.
So again, but still, the question is, what would you be if you're Brett Veach? What would you be willing to give up? So
I give up a 3 with a
Ruben, DeMecchio, Kenny, whoever's out there. Those of you who have not been named yet in the chat. Shout it out. What would you be willing to give up?
Yeah.
Well, the report is that they'd want a young player as well as a 1 in return.
Yeah.
So I don't know who you'd send.
Trade Mike Gannon a 3rd round pick.
At this time of year, though, again, I mean, it kind of beggars can't be choosers if they really wanted to move on. But the thing is, he's not a free agent. He's under contract. So they can just say the hell with it. We'll just wait.
Yeah.
And just dare him not to play. Because whatever draft pick you get now, first, you don't know where that pick is going to land.
Yeah.
Other than the round. And it's not going to be any, it's no better to make the deal now than it is at the end of the year. You're not going to have Hendrickson either way, so they'll just wait.
Yeah.
So it's a weird situation. I think Dallas is playing with Micah right now. Hey, he's under contract.
He's not going anywhere. Jerry Jones will never trade him.
No, absolutely not. But I think they're just kind of daring him to come in.
Yeah.
Okay, you're under contract. If you don't show up by such and such time.
Well, didn't he show up for some of the practices? Did he leave again, or
no? He was holding in, and then he's got a back strain.
Gotcha.
Right. So,
gotcha. Yeah, I got one too.
So his 5th-year option is $24 million, and they can wait till next season and then franchise tag. I mean, this could be
Spencer, I give them Cook and 4th and 5th round pick.
I do that.
All right, DeMecchio, very good.
I like that trade.
Yeah, that's not going to get it done. I think they might go for a 2nd round pick and a player.
Kenny, don't do that. Chris Lee says that would have been feasible, but they already have 56. Mr. Furious.
Send him a 2nd rounder and Isaiah Pacheco, and then trade for Brian Robson Jr. from.
Okay, I'd be down for
that's
that.
That's a lot of shuffling to not really. I don't know that really improves them much.
Yeah.
As far as the running back, I think they're good with Chase Brown. No, I don't think Pops.
Chase Brown fits them. Chase Brown fits.
You'd think it would have to be a defensive player. They put plenty of money in their offense. They can score with anybody and probably better than anyone. So it would have to be a defensive player. You would think. Who's a young defensive player that the Chiefs would be willing to part with? And then the other part of it is they're trying to get Trent's deal done.
Oh,
So,
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen this year. I
Often
think
the
it's gonna be an
Chiefs
offseason.
don't have a sexy stud, a sexy young stud right now. So.
Send them
if
Josh
they,
Williams.
If they did, they would just keep him. Right?
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. They ain't gonna do that, bro.
Listen, I do think this. I think if Brett Veach somehow got this trade, he would pay Hendrickson the money. No,
Well, he
question
has
about
to.
it.
I don't think Trent.
He
I don't think
would gladly do it if he thinks
Hendrickson wouldn't make the move or whatever.
And he'll be
he's
good.
going to
get that
Frank
worked
Clark,
out.
and Clark was kind of teetering on, still sort of being good. I mean, I think Hendrickson still is
right.
great.
So the idea is something. Okay, so you look at Zadarius Smith, Trey Hendrickson, Zadarius Smith at like $5 or $6 million for the year. Kind of look at it as like a Carlos Dunlap type situation.
Yep. That worked out pretty well.
Versus, okay, here's a guy we're going to keep for 3 years, big money. Now we've got God knows how many millions invested in the defensive line. So yeah, that's a tough one, but it's fun exercise.
If they can make a move and he can come over here to Kansas City from the
he and Chris Jones together,
that'll be crazy. It'll be a solid move too. It'll be a solid move.
Yeah,
George Jones.
Yeah, it's
it's more a lot out there, and
it's more the contract than it is the player or the compensation of the Bengals.
That's sexy. I do that. Yeah. Trade him. Go for it, Brett. Yeah, you have our blessings.
News coming out of the United Kingdom tonight that pushing hard to host the Super Bowl as early as 2030. Would that be a negative or a positive for the sport, do you think, if it was hosted in the UK one year?
I don't think there's any question it's going to play in the UK at some point. I know Roger wants to expand. I don't see there's any way. I mean, 32, or what would you expand it to? If you have a team over in, London as an example, you're talking about a lot of road miles. And what if Seattle has to go there? That's a long trip.
I mean, we're talking about two totally different things.
I understand that. For the Super Bowl itself, I'm just saying as a precursor.
In terms of just growing the sport globally, to have it there would be huge.
It's going to happen at some point.
Because what Wembley holds, like 90,000 or something?
95,000.
It's like It's like Jerry World. Okay,
Yeah.
I mean, it's just huge.
But would they make that move?
And how difficult is? I mean, it's an easy. You can get there from New York, from LA, from Detroit. Any big city in the United States, you can get there, and then from all the other big cities in Europe. So
you got 2 weeks between the Super Bowl. I think it's definitely going to go overseas. I would say twice in the next between now and 2040. My guess is it's going to be
because I think before they put teams over there, they're going to get to 16 international games a season.
That's next season, I believe it starts, right?
Yep.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Yeah, I think it's next year.
They're pushing towards that. I think how many this year? Was it like 6?
Yes.
There's two in England, right?
There's 4 weeks of 2 games, right? So far.
There's 2 there. There's one in Ireland, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's 2 in Germany.
Are
they playing in Madrid this year?
We've got Sao Paulo, Dublin, 3 in London, 1 in Berlin, and 1 in Madrid this year.
Okay. So that's how many is that? 6, 7?
6.
So that's 12 teams. So they have to do to get to 18.
Well, not because Minnesota actually plays back to back, Dublin and then London.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're like the first team to do that outside of Jacksonville.
Yeah, the goal from Rodgers to rotate 16 teams every year.
Yeah.
So the 16 teams.
Well, actually, 16 games where every team plays at least one international game.
Yeah. It's going to happen. It's inevitable.
I mean that's their goal to whatever
Mango will be there.
15 billion in revenue.
Lives in Germany.
20 billion in revenue. But the Super Bowl piece of it, that's the one where I think
go for it, Roger. You have
once
our blessing.
that happens, then it's just the floodgates are open.
Hey, I like those 8:30, 9 o'clock a.m. games. I love them.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Well,
but then we get a Super Bowl over here at probably like 3 in the afternoon. 2 or 3 in the afternoon.
I didn't think about that.
That's crazy. It'd be early.
You'd have to go maybe 4 o'clock.
Man, I'd
3
be
o'clock?
pissed
That's
off.
a little. That's a
really-
9. That would be like 9 o'clock local. I'm thinking more.
Good for you, Mango. Bad for
Yeah,
us.
it's like a
because
Monday.
it's
It's like a late
too
Monday
early.
night
I'm
It's a little
guessing
too early.
somewhere between 1 and 3 Eastern.
Yeah.
Hell with that.
Yeah, that kind of messes the pregame, so they probably would fight that a little bit.
Hell yeah.
That's plenty of time. Plenty of time for pregame. They start at 8 in the morning, man.
I don't know about
All right, what do you got for us, Mango? What's next?
Right. Well, obviously we're gonna work on our collective 53 today, but before we do that, Nick, do you want to talk us through your 53 that you put out today?
Yeah, I put this out on the ChiefsBlitz.com. You can check out the article. I kind of took a look at the roster where it stands and assuming that Rashee Rice is going to be there. But for my quarterbacks, obviously, no brainer here. You got Patrick and Gardner Minshew. My receivers are Worthy, Juju Smith, Schuster, Brownlee, Thornton, Royals, Hollywood Brown, and Rashee Rice. So that does mean that Nico Remigio won't make the team.
Slander.
I'm sorry. Well, I just think the way Jalen Royals ran that one kickoff that I think they're going to have a lot of confidence. Now, he's dealing with a little knee issue.
That was kind of, again, oh, by the way, 22 years old and knee tendonitis. You're like, oh my
That's
God,
not good.
What's happening?
So hopefully it's just a very minor inflammation, some cortisone, and they can take care of that.
I believe he did that on the kick return.
Yeah, he didn't come back in after that.
No, well,
see, that's the thing. I mean, if when you start using your, like, maybe one of the top 4 or 5 receivers on the team as a kick returner, that's always the concern and why you see more of these top guys not doing it.
Right.
But your thought was that one of these guys would be the punt and kick returner.
Yeah, I kind of think Smith's going to have an opportunity to do some of this as well.
Rashard Smith.
Yeah.
Okay.
So next up, I've got what do we got? Tight ends 4, Kelsey, Gray, Wiley, and Tunyon. Running backs, I've got Pacheco, Kareem Hunt, Rashard Smith. I'm keeping Carson Steele as my 4th running back, so that means Mitchell does not make the team. My tackles, and I'm going to go fighting down this: Josh Simmons, Juwan Taylor, Jalen Moore, and Asa Pohl, who I think is their 3rd best tackle right now. I believe that. Center Creed Humphrey, Mike Caliendo can also offset as a guard. I've got Kingsley Sumateo at guard, Trey Smith, and signing Shaq Mason as a free agent to round out knowing that Caliendo can play both guard and center. So that's kind of what I'm looking at for my offensive players.
Wow. So you're giving up on Norzad and Hansen.
I am giving up on both. Yes. I think both will make the practice squad. I don't think anybody's going to pick either one of them up.
Wow. Okay.
I think there's too much at stake if Kingsley Sumateo if he struggles in passing situation. In the running game, he's dominant. Okay. He's a mauler. But if he continues to struggle in passing situations, a guy like Shaq Mason, a veteran guy, whose forte is better pass blocking than run blocking, makes a lot of sense. Now, if it was me, and if I was in charge of the Chiefs offensive line, Josh Simmons and Asa Pohl would be left tackle and left guard. I'd put Humphrey at center, Trey Smith, and
that's a big guard, Nick. I mean, I don't.
Hey, he's not going to be pushed back on his butt.
There's a reason those guards are a little smaller. I mean, in terms of movement and everything else.
Right.
But hey, you like them. I gotta believe that Norzad is in their future. I think they see him as like an Allegretti.
Maybe.
And having that versatility and being able to really play anywhere on the line, maybe not tackle, but certainly the inner 3. Somehow I think he sneaks onto the. I don't know about sneaks.
All right, what do we got for defense? You got him up, Mango, and then we'll get everybody else's opinion on to break this down a little further. Defensive end: Karlaftis, Charles Amenhue, Mike Dana, Ashton Galati, and Malik Herring. I think Herring by default. I think they're going to add another pass rusher. Defensive tackle, 4 deep: Chris Jones, Mike Pennell, Omar Norman Lott, and Jerry Tillery, who looked good the other night. Linebackers: Drew Tranquil, Jeffrey Bossa, Nick Bolton, Leo Chanel, and Cam Jones. Brandon George looked terrible last couple of games, so I don't see that happening. Cornerback: Jalen Watson, Noah Williams, Christian Fulton, Trent McDuffie, Chris Roland Wallace. And the safeties,
I think you misspelled Joshua Williams.
Oh, did I? No, whatever. Oh, I didn't have Joshua Williams in there, did I?
Oh my gosh! Wait,
What'd I do? What'd I do?
Hey, is this thing on?
All right. Okay, let's go to special teams.
That was
sorry, I screwed
sarcasm,
up. My
Nick.
bad.
Yes.
Matt Araiza, Harrison Becker, James Winchester. All right, I'll fix that on the website.
Certainly, you're
Sorry about
familiar with my antics.
You have a lot of antics. This
Yes.
is true. So again, that's just my take on what I think for the for the roster. I listen. I think it's going to be difficult. Andy said it today. I mean, there's some guys that he thinks are pretty close to making the roster. So I just hopeful.
Yeah, I think that's the thing is in terms of the youth and the UDFAs, and some of the younger vets, it's gonna be a tough cut down. And there's going to be some guys that are going to go on other teams for sure, and probably have decent roles. So these next few practices, obviously the third game is going to be important to some guys that are kind of, hey, it's going back and forth between you and this guy. Got to make some hard choices, but I just, to me, the only one that I would have issue is just not having Hunter Norzad on the team. I really think they like him and they drafted him. I don't want to say a premium pick, but hey, he was in the 4th round pick or whatever, 5th round pick. So I think they like him.
Yeah, I mean, they can interchange. The point is to have guys they can interchange with, especially in offensive line. And they have some really good candidates, but I just think they need another. I think they just need another veteran back there. Now, Shaq Mason is 31, 32. The Texans didn't re-sign him. He's got some age wear and tear.
Yeah, I mean, they did like almost an entire house cleaning of their offensive
he was part
line.
of that house cleaning because they struggled in the postseason against the Chiefs, and they gave up 8 sacks in that game or something like that. So, and he was part of that problem, but he was also injured. So I could see why they let him go and why they replaced him. But as a veteran guy, is insurance for Kingsley Suamatea. I don't know. I mean, I watched Caliendo and Norzad. I didn't think they played very well, with the second and third team offensive line. And
here's the thing that you have to look at when you're talking about offensive linemen. If you look at the second unit as a unit, they're not necessarily play a lot of snaps together.
Yeah.
And sometimes it just doesn't look good for any of them if they're not all in sync. If you're just looking at somebody like a Hunter Norzad to come in and play with Creed and Trey and Josh and Jawan or Jalen or whoever they are, trust me, he will look 10 times better. And that's not anybody. I just think he personally would be one of those guys that if you put him in, he could more than capable of filling in. But again, you take now a lot of those guys that maybe don't have the experience. You put them all together, it does. Yeah, it's gonna be a rough sledding, and we've seen it.
And I'm just basing on just individual performance, just holding their ground.
Yeah,
that's it. I'm not, what the other guys in the line are doing. Like Asa Cole. I mean, I single him out because I just watched every snap in the first 2 games, and he's on an island by himself, and he did everything right. He didn't have a quarterback. He didn't have a quarterback pressure. He was dominating. He was blowing past guys. He was good in the run. He opened up some holes.
Maybe he can play defense.
He could play defense. Can you put him in nose tackle? Can you imagine the kind of pain he could inflict at nose tackle? But I think a mauler like the potential mauler like that, you can't get rid of. They have to keep him. He will not. He will not clear.
And I think just the overarching thing here is from Nick's 53, as you can see, there's not a ton of open spots, right? Now we can sit here and disagree and mince things with certain guys, but there's not a ton of like, oh my God, this position group, we have no idea who's playing.
Yeah, I don't have any undrafted guys.
We have no idea who's going to be playing this. Well, Pole A.
Well, I mean, Pole's the only one.
Is UDFA, but so that's the thing. And what's Christian Fulton's status? I mean, hopefully, if he's ready to go, that completely, I think, changes the whole view of the cornerback room because he's probably going to start on the outside.
Yep.
And then you got Watson. I mean, if Fulton is healthy, is Cuffs going to stay outside?
No.
I gotta believe he wants to play over 50% of his snaps outside.
He wants the money.
I mean, he's got to get paid like an outside corner. Jalen Watson, I don't think you're going to move him inside.
I don't think he can do it.
Right. The best scenario, and I've said it, all preseason here, is to have Teacups play
the slot,
play inside, and have the two tall guys playing on the outside. And then the other guys like Nazi and Joshua or whoever else is on the team, Noel Williams, kind of rotate at the different positions.
Even if they do pay Teacups all this money, right? Let's say they do get paying all this money to play for the outside corner, would you still put them inside?
Yeah, you put him wherever.
If they pay him, then I don't think he gives a shit.
Yeah.
But if all of a sudden they don't sign him prior to the season, let's just say the contract goes on, and all of a sudden they got him playing 70-80% inside. Trust me, when they get to contract negotiations, that's going to come up, and they're going to say, okay, the top of the market for the slot or the nickel corner is his teammate from Washington that plays for the Bears, who's a Kyler Gordon, or I think so.
Gordon, yeah.
Anyway, he's I think $14 million a year. Whereas
big difference.
What's his name? The kid from who's the kid for Houston? I always forget his name. LSU kid.
Oh, Stingley.
Stingley. He's at like 25.
Yeah, it's a big difference.
So,
and I don't think he'd take a meet in the middle deal either.
That's a weird thing right now. So
because you get paid more playing the outside than playing the inside.
Yeah, that's just the way the market is right now, and just how it's viewed. And there's no rhyme or reason to it because those guys are on the field as much as the outside guys, just the way offenses are in the NFL. But why do running backs not? And why is their market so depressed? They those guys get their asses beat every week. That's the market. So anyway, that Christian Fulton's going to have a lot to say about how the hell this team is constructed, I think, in the defensive back.
Yeah. Because Christian Fulton, he plays more inside or outside?
He's an outside
guy.
He's
an outside guy. But like if they do pay him Teacups that money, right? Let's say they do pay that number one corner money, he does get that. Doesn't mean he can't go back to playing slot.
No, but I think that's just one of those things, man. I mean, if you're an outside guy, you're going to want to be regarded because then all of a sudden you're kind of messing with the market. And if he's playing inside, you're going to have 31 other teams are like, what are you doing?
What's going on?
What's going on, man? We got a thing going on here, and there is no collusion in the NFL, right?
Yeah,
never been proven.
I got some breaking news.
Go ahead, break it.
Hollywood Brown did practice today.
Wow, beautiful.
That's what's up.
Right. That's good. I mean, I think Coach Reed said at his presser that he did work a little bit either yesterday or the last time they practiced.
Yeah,
and now he's going to get a little bit more today.
They might also wait for him
and that's another one. A key to the wide receiver group. Because Rashid, we still don't know where or when, when is this going to happen? It may not happen till well into the season. And then you're kind of screwed because if the decision comes then and they say it's like 8 games or something and you run out of games, does that count playoffs? Would he be allowed to play in the playoffs and then sit out more at the beginning of the because you don't get regular game checks in the playoffs. It's like a certain pool. Your salary is done at the end of the season.
You get a playoff pool that's distributed equally.
Right. So these guys compared to what these guys make regular, like Patrick Mahomes plays the playoffs almost for free.
Yeah, well, they get bonuses for each round in their contracts. The higher price guys, they get bonus money for each win.
Yeah, but that's
like Juju Smith-Schuster when they won Super Bowl 57. He earned an extra $1.5 million for winning the Super Bowl.
But I guess at the end of the day, because there are like games and game checks involved, how would that? I mean, that would be a question. I don't know for somebody that knows the CBA. Would that spill into playoffs? Because not every team is guaranteed playoffs.
Mm-mm.
So does then he missed like the last 8 games of the regular season or 6 games of the regular season.
It's irrelevant.
Then he's able to play in the playoffs, and then the first 2 games next season he's got to sit out because he's got to finish this. Whatever.
Yeah,
I think
the point. I guess the longer
he can't play in the play. I don't think he can play in the postseason if he's
Hollywood in that time frame. Hollywood has to really step
He gonna
up
has to be healthy. He gonna have to be healthy because
Xavier's got to do his thing, but you can't be just Xavier because we went through that last year. Jalen Royals is going to have to step up.
He's going to have to step up. Right? Yeah,
one of these other guys that makes the team, whether it's Thornton or Brownlee.
So Hollywood. He signed a 1-year deal, right? Did he sign a 1-year deal?
Yeah,
this year?
1 year, $7 million, I think.
So right now he's banged up again. Right now, so right now he's kind of up and down right now, and that's the thing with these injuries. He's a good player, but you stay hurt, like you're not producing. It's like we really haven't seen who he is with Patrick Mahomes. We haven't seen it yet. Now he's still nicked up. So what do you do?
Right?
Do you re-sign him again? Like what do you do? It's like,
well,
is
that
he gonna be
part of it. That's
not.
That's like for 6 months down.
No, I get it, but at the same time, his history, like he got a bad history with that, though.
Well, I think if Royals develops the way they believe he is, Hollywood's not going to be back on the team.
Yeah, I agree.
And as far as Rashee Rice goes, I did talk to my person today, and pretty much what I said the other day, in case you missed it, the Chiefs were very unhappy that the punishment for the crime exceeds what has already been given out as what my guy says is a lenient process in regards to suspensions so far this year. And for them to come in at a 10 game and go to 8 games, it's totally unacceptable to the union. Rice's agent and his attorney are unhappy. The Chiefs are unhappy. So the league has said over the weekend that they'd like to see this matter settled.
Hell yeah. They don't want to wait till
it's my understanding that they're probably closer to a 4-game suspension to start the season to get it over with. That seems to be everybody's objective. The league has made it pretty clear from my sources that they will not go less than 4. I think the union asked for a 2-game suspension, and then tried to want to get the
Nick, I think if they offered him 4, they would have
taken it. No, but I mean they're not quite at the 4 yet. They're haggling between 6 and 2.
If they started at 10. If all of a sudden they cave to 4, then it's then it becomes a principle. Like they did cave. You just have to push them a little bit, and they'll cave. They don't want to set that precedent either.
I guess the issue that I have with all this is, I mean, the league has asked the Chiefs to do so much over the last 4. No, just let me finish it. Has asked them to do so much, and when it comes to these kinds of things, they negotiate, they present a case, and it's like, okay, we're going to make an example here. We're going to make an example here. We're going to make an example here. Like the Chiefs are getting dinged for being, America's team, and also, well, if we punish the Chiefs, then that tells everybody we can punish everybody else at the same rate. And I don't think that's necessarily right. Now, I'm not asking for the Chiefs to get preferential treatment. I'm just saying you don't all of a sudden go for a incident like this, and when the average suspension is 3-4 games, and to go to 8 or 10 is just it makes no sense. There's no logic here. Just to set a new limit, and then you're going to do it with the Chiefs, who are the number 1 draw on television, and who have and Rice has done everything that's been asked of him and then some. So I don't see it. I think reasonable heads have to prevail here. It's got to be 4. It should not be more than 4 games. And if I'm him, there's 2 things I do. 1, I do my 4-game suspension. I serve my 30 days in jail and get it over with and just be done with this thing once and for all.
Right. I don't know. I guess if you look at it, there's a million different ways you can look at it. If the Chiefs are America's team, or they're getting all, I guess, the benefits, if you would. Again, if you call them benefits of playing the primetime games, all this different stuff, well, then you also have to deal with the other end of the stick if we deem it, necessary. Right. So if you're going to take the benefits of being this under scrutiny team, if you're the scrutinized team, yes, if there's an example to be made, we're going to make it with your team. We're not going to. give any sort of look that we're favoring you because of what you mean to us financially.
Well, 10
We're
games
still going to get the ratings if Rashee
Yeah.
Rice doesn't play, right?
Yeah,
I mean, that's not going to change.
10 games is absolutely ridiculous. There's no basis for it. I mean, there's
there's
nothing
no-
in.
well, Nick,
you're
there's no
basically
base-
saying what he did and what
There's-
Deshaun Watson did are the same thing.
There's no basis for any of this.
But
outside
again-
of some certain precedent, I think like a DUI where no one gets hurt is pretty much settled in at 3 games. That seems to be like a thing. They've done that many times. This is a little different because they're racing. There are other people involved. It's on tape. I mean, there's just a lot of bad optics here. And that may not be fair or whatever, but that's
You're
the long
comparing
and
it
short
to
of it.
someone who had multiple people come forward on assault, basically. Over 30 women were assault on Deshaun Watson.
How do you judge the two?
You're talking about 30. You're talking just on the sheer numbers of the math. 30 victims. Okay, 30 victims. He gets a 10-game suspension. That's it.
I
and
understand.
you're going to say Rashee Rice did something similar?
We can parse this out, but there was a chance that people were going to die. Whereas,
that's different.
I'm not going to say that what these women withstood was not as bad, but there was no chance that their lives were going to be lost. So if that, again, there's no scale here. Somebody, a judge, and in this case, at the end of the day, whatever Sue Robinson decides, Goodell might agree with it or not.
Yeah, he still has the final say.
So ultimately, he is the judge and jury of this kangaroo court, if you will.
Yeah, it is.
And they just go at their whim. And if he feels that this is this many games, I don't know that you can say, well, he got this many games for this. It's not the same. Well, yeah, there are 2 different crimes, but he
still messed up.
He did plead guilty to felonies.
Yeah,
so.
don't mistake my opinion on this matter for that I'm giving him a pass for what he did.
No, but I'm just saying it's hard to compare wrongdoings.
I just don't think 10 games warrants the events, the outcome, and the things that have happened since the event. Now with Watson, he still hasn't.
The outcome sometime you can't. I think you have to look at the behavior, because just because he got lucky and no one died, does that make his behavior any better?
No, I'm not saying that at all.
No, that's what I'm saying. Is that's what they're judging. So if the outcome
I get
was
that part of it,
somebody could have.
Right.
People were hurt, but it could have been a hell of a lot worse.
It could have been for sure.
Rush hour. I mean, what if a bunch of cars pile up?
No, it's unfortunate. It's a terrible thing that happened.
And then it's also setting example for those youngsters out there to say, no, whatever, do not get in that situation. Here's an example. You're going to lose 10 paychecks.
Yeah. I don't know. Anyway,
it's just a lot of drama. It's just a lot of drama in the NFL because it's inconsistent. It's just so inconsistent.
Well, the tough thing is that they waited for negotiating to set a date. They probably should have, if on that day when he pled guilty and they say to him, okay, we're going to suspend you for 10 games. We don't agree with it. Set a date, find the judge and set a date. Then
that was 4 weeks ago.
Maybe they could be all done by now.
I agree.
But now you're, September 30th, if they don't negotiate it down or come to some settlement, and then she's going to take her time to kind of mull it over.
She could take weeks.
Try to figure this out. And now all of a sudden,
additional testimony.
Now all of a sudden we're into Thanksgiving and we still don't know, like, what the
My guess is if it goes into November, if it's a long suspension, it goes into November. My guess is they won't start it until 2026. That would be a massive punishment.
That's just It's bad. Either way it goes, it's just bad,
Yeah.
man. It's
All
just
right, so
crazy.
so moving on.
Anyway, all right. Next topic. Sorry, I didn't mean to get on my soapbox.
Watching the game the other night, what did I think Seattle rushed for 163 yards
more than
the
that.
first quarter or something,
Yeah.
right? And the first half. Level
and
of concern.
then parking lot gets banged. Now parking lot's banged up too, man.
Level of concern.
Go ahead. What do you think, Coach? In watching the game?
From me watching the game from that standpoint, I know they're backups, but still they gave up a lot on the ground. And you can see the what the Chiefs have and their depth on that line. They're gonna really need some help on that line because to give up those many yards, man, on the ground, you know, like I said, if Chris Jones is out there, great, you know what I'm saying, but Chris Jones can't be the only one. You know what I'm saying? Chris Jones can't be the only enforcer down there. So, yeah, they're going to need some work down there on the defensive line. They're going to need some work, man. They don't look good.
What a shit show. What a shit show.
Yeah. There you go.
It just wasn't good enough, was it? Like, at the end of the day, these are supposed to be NFL professional players, regardless if you're a backup or not. And it just wasn't there. So...
Yeah, and that's a problem because I'm like, bro, y'all didn't stop nothing. It was like, I'm like, damn, bro, it's like now I really see it. Like the Chiefs really need some help.
They were just tentative. I don't know, was the bad footing or the rain? Maybe they didn't want to get injured. They ended up having 5 injuries. They've already lost FAU for the season. We don't know if any of the other injuries are gonna, cut into the regular season. We don't know that at this point. Now, again for FAU, he could be designated to return. So it's quite possible they could put him on ER.
But he would have to make the 53
Correct.
And then do it, right?
I think so. I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah.
So
but in terms of the game against Seattle, first off, I think it proves that Cochran and Christensen aren't really NFL level run stopping linebackers. Great special teams guys. Maybe one of them can come in, and Cochran has shown that he can fill in at times. But without Nick Bolton and without Drew Tranquil out there, you could see the run fits were not good at all.
Yeah.
And some of the things that Nick mentioned, I mean, to me, it was okay. Camp had just ended. We're flying halfway across the country.
Yeah.
You're pulling guys out. And again, you're not giving excuses, but because to Mango's point, you're a professional. You're trying to make this team. You're trying to show that you are worthy of wearing this red jersey for this season.
Yeah.
And it's just hard. So you've got a younger team, a hungrier team that for some reason, they were coming for it, right? They wanted to show, hey, this is a Super Bowl team. We can play with these guys. So no excuses, but I think it will have a much different look and feel even as soon as this Friday when they play the Bears, because I'm sure Bills fans were watching that game last night thinking like, holy crap, what is
wrong with us? They've looked terrible on both.
They were just not engaged, and I kind of drew parallels to the Chiefs. Like, okay, you got a brand new team, brand new coach, quarterbacks. They've all got stuff to prove. The Bills have nothing to prove in the preseason,
right?
And then it's just human nature, I guess.
Now then, Scott Moore with 2 drops, man. I know about the punt return, the kick return, whatever.
Yeah.
But 2 drops, I'm like, Scott Moore, that was on you, man. Like, I'm done. After that, I said, "Oh, Scott, I'm done, bro."
Some very easy catches as well.
Easy catches.
If there's anybody that can't afford drops, it's certainly him. I mean,
oh my gosh, I said, God.
Yeah, I just feel so bad for. I know. Just can't.
It's never ending, is it?
No.
Because it was right. It was right in his middle.
When he housed the punt, that was like such a shock. Like,
I know. I was like, I mean, 2 totally at that point.
Completely different plays, but it was like, okay. So you see the potential. I mean, the kid's got some skills. There's no question about it. But something,
they'll go to the Pittsburgh Steelers and be dynamite. You watch.
Catch the damn ball, man.
Nick, Lou, simple. Just catch the damn ball, bro. God.
Yeah.
Man, everybody said Bossa looked good. Everybody said Bossa stood out. They said
he looked really good.
The rookies have to be engaged, right? I mean, they have to be. It doesn't matter who's on the other side, where we're playing, anything like that, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
I mean,
It's
no
just-
Williams before he got hurt in basketball.
I gotta put good tape out there. It's just plain
You got
and simple.
Lou, you just said it. You gotta put good tape out there. You got to. I'm like, I'm watching the game like, damn, like I said, like I was dogging Johnson, but Johnson did make a great play in the end zone. He did. And then Williams, I was talking good about Williams. And then he gave up a touchdown. So I'm like, okay, where do we go from here now? Right? I said, where do we go from here, man? But Bossa looked good, guys. Bossa did look good,
Yeah, I mean there were some bright spots, not a lot, right? Just because I think Gardner Minshew, I think, is getting more comfortable in the offense, and I mean certainly totally. Yeah, I've got all the trust in the world that if they needed him for a couple of games here and there, totally fine. I mean, I think the offense can more than just function. I think he'd do real well.
Yeah. All right. Crystal Lee says,
okay, go ahead, guys. Go ahead.
They say it's X's and O's or Jimmy's and Joe's on offense, Jimmy's and Joe's defense, X's and O's. No game planning. Overall, I'm not concerned. But Crystal, you are the optimist. You are probably 100% right. It's really hard to gauge anything into the preseason.
You do, because the rookies got to step it up, though. We got to know who are these guys, man. You know what I'm saying?
You just don't want to see it where they're. I mean, again, 163 yards rushing and a half is that's Jesus. You get that up in an entire game in the NFL, you're in the bottom. I don't know.
I didn't play Drew Lock in my pick'em. I made a big mistake.
Bottom 10%.
Here you go, Nick. Boy, you own his preseason stuff. What's up, bro? Yeah, man, but I'm just saying though, it's still unexcusable, guys. I mean, y'all notice some of these players, like, to Mango's credit, knows the system, they know the defensive scheme, but y'all just didn't produce, man. So
yeah, All right, I'm gonna change the topic for a second before we go for today. I finally watched the episode number 6 of The Kingdom yesterday, and I was dreading it. I didn't want to watch it. I didn't want to relive the loss and everything leading up to it. And I thought the series overall was great. But my take on the last chapter of that was, in watching, and I watched it, some of it twice, in watching the body language, the way the players were talking and the behind the scenes stuff on the field, I noticed there wasn't that normal fire, that normal, they look like the team that had a lot of pressure on them.
Spent. Just emotionally, physically spent.
Everything they had to go through. And I think it just finally caught up to them. And I think my biggest take from watching, the 6th episode was this team was gassed. They were playing on whatever they had left in the tank. And the Eagles just steamrolled them. And if Patrick doesn't do the 2 or 3 turnovers, take that 17 points off the board, if Watson makes the play in the end zone, I mean, you go back and you look at these plays. If Hopkins makes that catch,
there's a lot of ifs. Yeah,
there's a lot of ifs.
It's a different game at halftime, and Chiefs have some momentum. But at the end of the day, it just goes to show you that
I didn't realize the last 4 episodes were available.
Yeah, it's all available. Oh, sorry. Well, if you hadn't seen it.
Well, no, I know how it ends. I watched the game.
I think that it was a really good insight. And what I loved most about it overall was the way that they talked about it and the way they focused for this year. And that's what kind of leads me to believe that,
I think the pressure of 3P was really
too much. It was almost unfair.
They tried to shake it, but they couldn't because they wanted that 3P. Yeah, mentally it was draining.
Well, to me, it was more just the anger the entire season because, pressure to 3P won, but seems like every game was down to the wire. Yeah. There's only so many times you can do that, and they were doing it every single week. Mm-hmm. Was it like 10 games in a row? It was like 1-score game.
Yeah, there weren't that many blowouts last year,
and it was just by the time they got to the playoffs, okay, now all of a sudden it's like one and done. Yeah, you saw them pick up the their game a little bit, but it was like, wow. I mean, this entire thing was like pulling teeth. And then the Eagles were just a buzzsaw. I mean,
they were fired up.
Yeah, the Rams had their opportunity, but every other playoff game was just a runaway, just a rout.
They just exploited what we've been talking about all year, man. The offensive line, man. they just took advantage of that, man. They really highlighted it. So
Just
and like I
just as Coach
Yeah,
Reed
I
said,
don't-
just a bad day.
I
to
don't
have
think
a bad
anybody was.
day.
Yeah, no one was beating the Eagles that game. Just wasn't going to happen. I don't care who in the AFC it was.
Probably not. Yeah.
They weren't beating the Eagles that day.
Yeah.
They learned their lessons from a couple years earlier. They completely treated their Super Bowl week vastly different than they did the first time when it was just great to kind of be here, and the second time was let's go kick their ass.
They was on a mission. They were definitely on a mission.
And I think the Chiefs are on an equal mission this year to prove to everybody that they're not that the dynasty is not over.
That was not us.
Yeah. And so I thought it was well done. Kudos to ESPN, kudos to the Chiefs for allowing that to happen. I know there's a lot of conversation about whether to allow that to happen, but I thought some of the behind the scenes stuff was great. The Brett Veach thing with his daughter writing that on on that piece of paper was, I had tears in my eyes. I thought that was just great. And of course, Draft Day is one of my favorite NFL movies, period. So that was great stuff. And I thought Andy, talking about his family and how much of the family life they showed of him, I thought was courageous by Andy. We'd not seen that side of him before.
No.
So it was good to see, to give people an understanding that don't have a behind the scenes look. Like when I was a reporter, I saw it all pretty much. And it's vastly different than what the fans see. And for them to allow them at this day and age of privacy, security, the scrutiny to win, every game, and the way that the fans now have access to players on social media, it's vastly different. But for the Chiefs to go behind the camera and allow that documentary to happen was kudos to them. I thought it was brilliant.
But I think Clark kind of said, okay, this could be an historical thing happening here.
Sure.
But because otherwise, most head coaches are like, we don't want that. We don't need any more. There's enough cameras and coverage, anyway. But again, it's after the fact, so it's not like it's happening in real time. It's just
it was real. There's real time stuff that they were interviewing him during the season, but a lot of stuff was done after the season was over.
Yeah.
And the difference in the way they went back and forth was really, really impressive. To keep the game timelines forward, but the stories were going back and forth. It's well done. Kudos.
So there you have it. I can go to Disney Plus now, or
ESPN
you can
watch
Plus.
all the episodes. You'll love it.
Well,
so they released those all at the same time. I thought they were doing like 2 a week.
Nah,
kind of stretch it out here.
Yeah,
right?
the media got the advanced 6 hours, and then obviously it broke over last Wednesday night or so.
All right.
Right. Let's hear from Underdog before we get into the final segment.
Play now in Missouri. If you're looking for a great fantasy game, we've teamed up with UnderdogFantasy.com. You can play $5 and get $50. You can use the special promo code Chiefs Blitz. The game is available in 33 states. Check out the availability map. You must be 18, 19, or 21 years older to play, but it's an outstanding game. The app is very simple. You can deposit and get up to $1,000 in bonus cash for new customers, and make sure you use the Chiefs Blitz code, and so you can register to start playing this amazing game. Play Pick'em on Underdog. You can, with all your favorite NBA players, James, Curry, Ball, anybody and everybody who's in the NBA, you can play higher or lower. It is an amazing product. It's very simple to use. If I can do it, anybody can. And just make sure when you log on to UnderdogFantasy.com, make sure you use the code Chiefs Blitz.
That's right. They've given away $1 billion plus so far since the inception of Underdog Fantasy. It's really simple for us here at the Chiefs Blitz. Just hit the QR code on the screen to follow. Put in the code Chiefs Blitz. Pay $5. Have a chance to get $50 extra. And they'll have some other games for the NFL season coming up, which we will hopefully have by Friday. And we'll let people know it's season. Again, if you're looking for a piece of Chiefs history, and those who know, I'm in the process of selling over 1,000 pieces of my memorabilia. Up next is a signed football from the Super Bowl 4 heroes: Emma Thomas, Lenny Dawson, Willie Neer, Bobby Bell, and Johnny Robinson. Those were obtained the first 4 at an event long ago, and then Johnny Robinson back in 2020. So we appreciate that of those guys. And again, the Ultimate Ride, if you want to get Derek Thomas's Mercedes-Benz that he drove when he was with the Chiefs, really simple. Just hit the scan code right there. register. You get $100 per tickets for the raffle. 100% of the proceeds benefit the Derek Thomas Neil Smith Third and Long Foundation along with Deron Cherry's Foundation. It's a great cause. Winner will be chosen October 16th, 2025, and win a piece of Derek Thomas history and help the charity and a bunch of local kids as well. So there you go.
Can we get maybe check with those guys, see if we can get like an audio of just like hearing the engine rev a little bit?
I'll see what I can. I don't think it wasn't souped up. So I don't even know if it was a V8 or V6.
Are the rims still shining? That's the real question. Do the rims
car guys can kind of get that.
All right, make sure the rims.
You want to get all the senses, right? Get the visual. You want to be able to hear it, see it, smell it.
You want to hear that engine?
You might not be able to smell it.
We have some more pictures of the car when Hens gets back. We'll load it up.
I want to hear it.
You want to
hear that engine turn over.
I want to hear that engine roar, baby.
All right.
Right, let's get into it. The Chiefs Blitz official 53-man roster. We're going to put it together quickly. I think the quarterbacks is pretty obvious where we're going. Yep. We're all in agreement that it's going to be Mahomes and Minshew, right?
Yep.
Perfect. Right. What are we thinking for the running back room?
You got Isaiah over Kareem?
I think Mitchell's the odd man out. I think it's going to be Smith, Steele, Hunt, Pacheco.
I think they might just go with 3. With Pops, Kareem, and Richard.
Yeah, and Carson Steele's the 4th running back.
Interesting. I don't know if I'd have Carson Steele making the team this season.
Yeah.
Nah, me either.
All right. Fair enough.
Right. Wideouts. What we saying?
Look at that.
That's
so many of them. So many.
God, where do we start from, gentlemen?
I'll go first. Okay, Rice, we don't know. Suspension is or isn't going to happen. So we count him as a positive for now. Yes, for now. Rice, Worthy, Brown, Smith-Schuster, Thornton, Royals, and to me, Brownlee probably are your wide receivers. I don't think Sky Moore makes the team. Royals obviously going to make the team. Badger looked good in the first preseason game and looked good in practice. So, I mean, he's probably a practice squad guy. But, a lot of this is going to be dependent on, if Rashee Rice in the league can come up with a reasonable suspension, and that'll determine how this is. But for now, those would be my guys.
So you need 7 receivers on the roster, right? You need 7.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You need at least 6.
About 6. Okay, so
you don't have to have 7, though.
Yeah, I think they're going to. If Rashee Rice is suspended, I think they'll keep 7 just to have some extra room.
For me here,
6. If not,
Brownlee had a good showing. Then after the first preseason game, the second one, I really didn't see.
I think they will. It's going to be him or Remigio for the last spot, in my opinion. Thornton's definitely going to make it, so I don't think there's any question about that. So Remigio and Brownlee are going to be the 2 that you're going to fight over, and I think Badger and probably Magdalena will be on the practice squad.
Lou gets final say. Are you taking Jason Brownlee or Nico
I'm going
Remigio?
with I'll go including Rashee. In other words, he starts the season on the roster. I'll say the top 6 guys make it. Okay. And they'll go with 6 receivers to start out. Mm-hmm. Probably try to get Nico on the practice squad. Maybe 1 or 2 of the other younger guys like Badger, potentially Brownlee. I would say Brownlee, Badger. I don't know about Sky. I don't know how they feel about him. Maybe they try to get him. I don't know that anybody would pick him up. So that might be one that's worth it because you don't know how punt returners are going to work. So you can just stash them on the practice squad. But I would say probably the top 6 just to get rolling, and then once Rashee's situation, then kick somebody else up.
Yeah. All right. Sounds good. Boy, it's a big offensive line. For me, I got Simmons, Sumatea, Humphrey Smith, Taylor. I've got Asa Pole, Mike Caliando. I'm not high in Norzad or Hansen, but I'll change my tune that they won't get a veteran and keep Norzad over Hansen. But you got to keep Asa Pole. Find a way. I don't care.
That's your guy there, huh?
That is a future starting tackle for the Kansas City Chiefs. No question in my mind.
Do you think Wanya Morris makes the
Wanya
team
Morris
this year?
gone? No, he's gone. He's gone. Yeah, he's gone.
Okay.
He's gonna get nipped that in the bud fast.
What do you think, Lou? They keep.
Yeah,
they keep Morris?
I'm saying the top 10 on the 53, and then maybe pull. I know they like Driscoll. They're going to try to keep Godric as well on the practice squad, and maybe some other guy from other cuts that are made.
I mean, obviously Jalen Moore's going to make the team,
but I think those 10 guys, I think, are pretty much locked in.
All right, we'll see. Tight ends, I think we all agree it's going to be 4. Kelsey, Gray, Tunyon, and Wiley. I think Jake Brittenstool is going to be put on the injured reserve so they can stash him for a year. Because I'm telling you right now, I firmly believe Travis Kelce is going to be back in 2026. So Noah Gray will be under contract for 1 more year. Tunyon will be a free agent. Wiley will be in his 3rd year. And I think Jake Brittenstool is going to get a lot of reps next year.
Yeah, top 4 on the 53. Watson, for sure on the practice squad. I don't know about the other guys, but
Robert Tunyon to me, I know he's starting. He not starting, but he's gonna make the roster, bro. He's been very productive, man. So I know he's definitely staying. Jared Wiley, on the other hand,
he's making it.
Yeah.
All right, what do we got next? All right, defensive line. All right. Karlaftis, yes. Jones, yes. Pennell, yes. Dana, yes. Omenhu, yes. Tillery, yes. Norman Lott, yes. Ashton, Galata, yes. Herring, yes.
Nope.
Yeah, maybe Marlon Tuipulotu makes it just because of his experience, or Melee carrying one of those two.
I'd take Tuipulotu personally.
Okay. I like Fabian Lovett, but I haven't seen anything out of him in training camp so far in preseason games.
I really like.
I'm only keeping 3 running backs, only 6 receivers, so I can keep extra linemen and on both sides of the ball.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say, down to Gelati for sure, all those guys. Herring, I don't know. It's one of those deals where he's been around forever, but never really caught on. Right. The interesting thing is going to be in the interior. So I think that's where maybe you've got like Tuipulotu and Lovett have a chance. Haven't seen a lot of the Penn State kid, Kasai Izzard. Was a Chief who, that normally gives you a boost, but so far we don't know. Felix goes on IR, so that's kind of a fait accompli for the season. And then maybe again they'll sneak Herring and maybe Izzard onto the practice squad.
Yeah. We'll see. All right, linebackers, Bolton, Tranquil, Chenal, Bassa, 4 locks. After that,
I would take Cooper McDonald,
You would? Why?
Turb loves him on special teams, and I've heard Spags rave about him. And
he has talked about him a lot. Yeah.
I thought he looked okay against Seattle.
Yeah, I think Brandon George and Cole Christensen to me. Brandon's been a big disappointment. Cam Jones is kind of there by default. Cochran doesn't quite have the speed. Maybe they do surprise here and they keep Cooper. What do you think, Coach?
Oh, snap. Well, Nick Bowden, Drew, Leo Chanel, Jeffrey Boss have been a dog. Boss have been a dog. Cochran, he's all right. But like I stated, man, they love Cooper McDonald, so.
All right, we'll give Cooper the nod.
Go Cooper. It depends. I mean, if they go 5 backers, I think those top 5, Cochran specifically, the special teams ace. I mean, he plays on all 4 units. Jones, kind of borderline. I mean, maybe if they like McDonald a little bit more because he's a little bit younger. Jones has been in the program for a while, so you got some interesting decisions to make there. But I would say for sure the top 5, and then depending on whether they keep a 6th, I would still lean to Cam Jones just because, again, he does have all the experience, has played well in spurts, and then, of course, great on specials.
All right, what do we got? Cornerbacks left and safeties? Defensive backs, they got a shit ton of them. McDuffie, Watson.
That's all of them. That's all
Yeah.
DBs. So.
All DBs. So you're looking at McDuffie, yes. Watson, yes. Williams, yes. Fulton, yes. Nazee Johnson, yes. Connor, yes. Cook, Hicks, Roland Wallace. Mike Edwards has got an injury. Who's the safety? Who's the free agent safety? Is it Melvin Smith Jr. or Glendon Miller? I really liked Glendon Miller in college. But
where did he play? Where did he play, Nick?
I can't remember. I just remember talking about him during the undrafted free agents. My mind is
we talked about, well, when I say we, it's always me. Talked about pretty much throughout the entire draft process. Went to the University of Maryland. That's very athletic. I haven't seen enough of him on the field.
I haven't seen anything of you.
I just liked him coming out of the draft. So I don't know that I've really seen him much playing. I mean, obviously not in practice or the games. Maybe he's gotten a few reps here and there. So I think I've heard good things about Major Williams as well, but until you really see him, it's hard to say this guy's going to make it. I think again the top 5 corners are pretty much as listed, I believe. Safeties: Shamari, Brian, Jaden Hicks.
They really ain't got nobody left for real DB.
You got to believe Roland Wallace at this point. So Joshua's days are numbered. Mm-hmm. You'd think they brought in Mike Edwards for a reason. If he's going to be healthy to make the 53, then I'm sure they will keep him. Then the rest is just.
I'm gonna say I feel you though. Trent, Jalen, Noah Williams. I like Noah. Christian Fulton. He's a savvy vet. I like him. Nazee Johnson to me is so up and down. Joshua Williams, those two are just so up and down.
I think the versatility with Nazee they really like. Right. I don't. He's not he hasn't shown to be like really good at any one of those positions.
Right.
He's decent at all of them. So if anybody would have just stepped up, I think he would have been knocked down.
Just made that damn right. True. So right now, Joshua Williams, to me, like I said, like his awareness.
Yeah,
is so
I mean, if you're just reading the tea leaves going back to last year, his days are numbered.
Yeah, you would think so.
Yeah,
I hate to say that, but yeah, that's
your guy.
Kind of what it looks like.
It is what it is. All right. Well, special teams, I think we pretty much know is only going to be.
I think we put like 60 guys on the 53, but who's counting?
There you go. Winchester, Booker, and
we got these guys nailed. Okay, that's it. Yeah.
We can say with 100% fact these are going to be the core of the special
100%.
100%. Right. Lock it. Book it, Dano. For sure. All right, guys. Great show. I want to thank our sponsors, Underdog, and also the people at the Derek Thomas Foundation. Again, with Underdog, they've given away over $1 billion won so far. Joins
a lot of money.
7 million plus underdoggers that are playing the game today. It's a great game. Hit the code on the screen there for Chiefs Blitz. Put in the promo code. You'll get a bunch of extras in there as well. There'll be a new NFL promotion set for the end of the week, so we'll let you know what that is. But we're excited to be partnering with them again this year.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. That's it. That's all I got. Mango, appreciate you, brother. Staying up late in the United Kingdom time zone. Lou Montagna on the East Coast. Andre here in the Midwest with me. We appreciate everybody. We'll be back Friday.
Jump in on Wednesday.
Wednesday, 1:30, and we will talk about who knows what's next for the Chiefs. Will they sign a veteran or two between now and Wednesday? Wait to find out.
And the much anticipated return of one Mr. Henstad.
Hensley, yes. Is he going to be road weary?
Hensley.
I don't know. Rumor has it he was going to fly back and not drive back. So we'll see what happens.
Nah, he's not. Yeah.
Make his kids drive the car back.
I think he says, I'm not making that drive again. So
that's a long drive. 18-hour drive. 18-hour drive.
I've done it. It's a long drive.
Shit, hell that.
So, all right, guys.
All right, guys. We out.
We'll be back Wednesday. Thank you, everybody.
Yep.